Hey everyone, welcome back to Nitro's Corner. We're here with Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 140. Going to do a little bit of explaining of what I thought of the chapter and a quick little read through of it as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. If I remember correctly, we should be starting right with Yuta coming into Yuji and Choso and gonna see what he's gonna do to them, I suppose. Okay, yeah, so right off the bat, we have Yuta just demonstrating how powerful he is, how much cursed energy he has, just destroying the stone wall, sending shivers down their spines. Who's with Itadori? Yes, he's a Katsuku. He's only a second year Jujutsu sorcerer, but he's just like Gojo Sensei, unlimited curse energy, giving him a special grade sorcerer, special grade shaman. Then obviously Noya is just trying to say, hey, you don't need to fight me. I'm on your side. I'm also here to kill Yuji. Right, so I mean, I think Choso's mentality here is probably the best route for them to take. At this point, there's no way that they stand a chance against Yuta alone, but Yuta and Noya together, they definitely don't have a chance. I mean, he's, like they said, on Gojo's level. He's a special grade sorcerer. I think Noya is just a grade 1, so I mean, he's still technically probably stronger than Choso and Yuji at this point. But when you add Yuta into the mix, they don't stand a chance. So I think Choso's right with trying to get them to just run away, separating the two. But yeah, like I expected here, I mean, Yuta's chasing down Yuji. I didn't think it would be so easy to just run away. So we kind of have a separated tornado tag team match here. We have Choso versus Noya, and we have Yuta versus Yuji. I saw you earlier. Okay, so Noya knows that he has the blood manipulation technique now, so he could come up to some kind of counters. I mean, Yuji and Mekamaru countered Choso, kind of, although Choso seemed to have a big enough brain to kind of pull through it himself, so we'll see how this goes. Noya doesn't know why he has the Kamo clan technique. He doesn't know that Noritoshi Kamo has been kind of genetically manipulating these people and giving them this inherited techniques and whatnot, but he knows of piercing blood and how it needs to charge up with convergence in order to use it, so he's kind of getting a little cocky knowing that he's fast enough to not allow him to charge it up. But Choso's like, you trying to touch my little bro, you're trying to fuck with the fam, you're gonna get these hands. So Choso's not backing down, clearly. Okay, so Yuji used some quick kind of recuperation jumping over the car to fling it at him. You're like Maki. Yes, he is like Maki because he has not super good control over his cursed energy and cursed output at this point. He is better through the Shibuya arc. He's learned quite a bit, but his incredible, crazy amount of human, just natural strength is off the charts, kind of like Maki. I can't shake this guy out in the open. He has to get inside. Oh, but Yuta throws the car over him saying, you're not the only one that's strong, boy, little boy. Surprised? He doesn't look like a power type. No, he's not a power type, but despite not having much power, he has such an immense amount of cursed energy that he can imbue himself with it, and it makes up for that lack of physical prowess, when in reality his frame and his physique is actually on the weaker side. So yeah, so it kind of that is interesting. They are kind of like opposites, whereas Yuta has this immense amount of cursed energy that makes up for everything else he lacks in physical strength, whereas Yuji has this abundance and immense amount of physical strength and lacks a little bit on the cursed energy side, so he makes up for that with his physical prowess. So they are kind of like the exact opposites. You notice, huh? He has more. Wow, so Yuta has more cursed energy than Gojo, which is pretty fucking crazy to think about, honestly. But the thing that kind of keeps Gojo as number 1 is that Gojo has 6 eyes. So when he activates a cursed technique, it minimizes the amount of cursed energy that is being expended. His expenditure is far less, whereas Yuta has this kind of immense pool of cursed energy he can pull from, but it's not limiting how much he uses. He can still draw out of it, but eventually he'll run out, where Gojo has this immense amount of cursed energy himself, but the amount he's drawing from it is very minimal. Right, so Yuta having such good control over his cursed energy and his cursed manipulation, where it's like kind of swelling up in his body, we kind of get the flashback here to Todo when he's training Yuji that first time, explaining that a younger, not as experienced sorcerer, when they're attacking, they will kind kind of pool up their cursed energy where it's coming from. You know, if they're attacking with the right fist, they're kicking, it'll pool up in that body part, kind of indicating that that's where the attack's coming from. But when you have somebody with such expertise as Yuta, it almost just is constantly everywhere in their body, completely 100%. So you can't really see where it's coming from until the last moment. And Yuta kind of perfects this. So much so that the cursed energy isn't just in his body, it's all the way to the tip of his sword, constantly surging with power. Right, so really any attack from Yuta can be a decisive blow, whereas you have to worry about the slightest offensive of him, and you could attack him with your all out, but his cursed energy will minimize the amount of damage he's actually receiving. But then we get a flashback here saying, from Nanami back in the Shibuya arc saying, you've got it from here. And Yuji realizes that there's no time for him to die yet. He doesn't have that freedom. When's the next chapter out? Next chapter, March 7th. Okay, that's not bad. So I kind of don't know what's gonna happen here, because I feel like what it's gonna take is Yuta and Yuji having a near-death fight, because that's when it seems like Yuji is finally imprinting, using his like innate imprinting technique on people. They have to have some kind of heart-to-heart, whether that's a fight and Yuji's on his last leg and then they have like an emotional connection. It's whenever they make that deeper level, that deeper engagement, that he imprints on them. So maybe it's going to take Yuta kicking his ass for a bit, and then maybe they can connect off the other sorcerers. Maybe both of them kind of being exiled by this incredible cursed energy that they control. Maybe it'll be some kind of, you know, Gojo connecting piece, how they truly both care for their teammates and their comrades so much that that'll ultimately be the thing that allows Yuji to imprint on him and kind of get Yuta back on their side. Because Yuta has... something's going on with him, man. I don't know if somebody has, like, brainwashed him or if somebody just has something he needs, because it seems like the higher-ups have him in their back pocket. And it didn't seem like he was going to be that kind of guy. It seemed like he was... you know, he was pretty honorable and pretty close to Gojo, but then he kind of went off on his own. So something's going on there. I know that he still has this connection to his classmates at Jujutsu High, because when Inumaki lost his arm, he gets super pissed off, and that's why he wants to kill Yuji. So something fishy is going on there, and I hope we get to figure that out soon. That is chapter 140, guys. I am still in the works of making my Shibuya timeline recap for all of you out there that are going to be interested in that. It's a pretty big project, so I hope to have that out this week at some point. I also am planning on making a shorter video comparing the 10 Shadows technique to the Limitless 6 Eyes technique of House Gojo, kind of connecting those two to see who is truly more powerful, and kind of delving a little bit into the history of those and how Megumi could be one of the most important characters in Jujutsu Kaisen. So stay tuned for those two videos, because those are going to be pretty interesting. But for now, guys, hope you stay healthy, hope you stay safe, but most importantly, stay in the corner.